The Civil War Uncovered is brought to you by MineLab Americas. Hi, I'm Robin Smith, and welcome to another episode of the Civil War Uncovered. During the Civil War, Scottsville, Virginia was a transportation and commercial hub on the James River. It was an important stop on the James River in Kanawha Canal, with a canal basin, or port, and warehouses of civilian and military stores. On March 6, 1865, 10,000 cavalry under General Phil Sheridan occupied the area around Scottsville. Commanders under Sheridan were Generals Wesley Merritt, Thomas Devon, and George Armstrong Custer. Their objective was to disrupt and destroy Confederate transportation and communication. Over the course of 4 days, they raided up and down river, destroying small factories, mills, bridges, and the canal system. On March the 10th, Sheridan's forces left Scottsville and headed toward another river community, Columbia. Somewhere in between was a Confederate canal boat filled with small arms ammunition. The crew of the ammo boat knew the Union cavalry would soon be upon them, so they exploded their own boat in order to keep it out of Union hands. The Civil War Uncovered goes to this forgotten and unrecorded site of an exploded ammo boat to scout the site for bullets and relics with Relic Bob Painter.
At the end of the Civil War, the Federal cavalry was charging all about Virginia, and in advance of the cavalry, the Confederates were scurrying to escape and destroy equipment so the Federals wouldn't get a hold of it. And at this site, the Confederates had a packet barge loaded with ammunition, and they heard the Federal cavalry was coming, so they detonated the barge. Blew it up, and that detonation threw bullets all over the side of this hill. Hopefully we can find a couple. Oh my, I thought that's what we were in, another pawpaw forest. These are pawpaws. When they ripe, well, this one feels pretty, no, it's not quite ripe. Yes, it is. They're delicious. Kind of like between a banana and a papaya. It's one of the benefits of relic hunting. Eat off the land. Way down yonder in the pawpaw patch. I like to hit the sides of little banks. So a lot of relic hunters just try to hit the flat spots, and they won't put themselves in an awkward position. There we go. I'm gonna say that's a Colt pistol bullet. A lot of the bullets here will be deformed from being blown out of the barge and impacting the ground. This one's not too bad a shape. I think that's good. I think it's deep or small. Before that hit the side of the bank, that was one of those semi-rare teardrop bullets. They call them a Confederate, unknown Confederate pistol bullet, or you know, they don't know what kind of pistol it went to.
How about a tip to help you work better in the field with your metal detector?
Hi, I'm Kevin Hoagland from Mine Lab Americas, and I'm here today with the folks from the Civil War Uncovered to bring you a few technical tips for better using your metal detector.
Kevin, what kind of stuff will interfere with our metal detectors when we're out in the field?
You know, there's a lot of things that will affect a metal detector and its operation. The biggest one is EMI, or electromagnetic interference. That can be caused by other detectors, aircraft, cell phone towers, anything that will create EMI can interfere with the detector. Now, Mine Lab's pulse induction machines all use an auto tune, which allows the machine to find the lowest level of any EMI and remove it or reduce it to make the machines workable.
Mine Lab's never been on this hill, so it's naturally going to pick up some bullets a little deeper than the previous machines. And I know I've been over this spot myself at least 6 times, up and down the side of this hill, 6 different trips. Hard to believe. And I was right. Maybe a Colt pistol bullet. It's also deformed. But every one of these bullets, deformed or not, is rescuing a relic from the Civil War. How about that? Is a bullet every 2 or 3 minutes? Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Bad luck. Relic hunters, a lot of them play all the odds and go with the lucky socks and lucky shoes and whatever it is that makes them happy. I think like when we were in the cavalry camp, I dug up that horseshoe, I picked it up, and I made sure I kept the opened end up so I didn't let my luck run out, and I put it in my back pocket. And well, it worked that day because I dug 2 or 3 buttons and a couple of bullets.
In our canal boat site, the vast majority of the bullets found have been pistol bullets. Reenactor Steve Davis tells us a little about Civil War pistols.
This is the weapon that would have actually fired those bullets. This is an 1860 Army Colt. This is an original piece. Manufactured throughout the war, was used by both sides. It fired the .44 caliber pistol bullet, loaded from the front. That's why the muzzle loading, cap and ball from the front behind the powder, and cap on the nipples. Of course, this being an original piece, this is not the one that we'll use in the firing demonstration. We'll use a reproduction Remington for that. But the Colts and the Remingtons were basically interchangeable as far as the ammunition goes. Powder charge, as I say, was between 25 and 30 grains of triple F black powder. They would load the powder, then put the ball on, seat it thusly, and then would coat the front of each chamber with grease to avoid cross-firing into the other chambers when the weapon was fired.
A scientific matter that's not scientifically proven, but some of the old-time relic hunters swear by it, that if you relic hunt of starting about 2 days after the full moon, you have maybe 4 or 5 days, the 2nd through the 7th day after a full moon. The full moon does something to, especially brass, but all targets are enhanced so that you can go in an area that you've hunted quite a bit, go in the 2nd or 3rd day after a full moon, and it seems like that stuff just jumps out of the ground. I've had a number of relic hunters validate that that's their experience, but no one's scientifically proven that. By the way, we're hunting about the 3rd or 4th day after the full moon today. Oh no. Yay. Sometimes these little bullets are hard to chase down. Regular Colt pistol bullet. Not quite as deformed as the others, but a local relic hunter living in the Palmyra area read some newspaper articles in the courthouse or wherever they store the archive the newspapers. He was reading through looking for a place to go metal detecting and ran across a story where the locals were finding a bunch of bullets on the side of this hill. So he came to the area and started asking about and pinpointed this hill, and he came in here and dug, relic hunting, dug over the years over 2,000 bullets and some parts off of some rare Confederate Cook rifles. So it turned out for him to be a super duper place. He didn't share the site with anybody for probably 15 or 16 years, and one day we met at the Lost Treasure Classic. It's a seated hunt that they had out in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He was from Virginia and I was from Virginia, and we saw Virginia on our name tags and we started chatting and found out we were close to each other, and we swapped places to hunt, and this is one of the places he brought me to and swore me never to bring anybody with a camera in here. The producers of Civil War Uncovered stumbled over the same site and asked me if I knew anything about it, and I said, well, yeah, I do. Where do you think it's at? And it's so-and-so place. And I said, well, that's the place. We can go there then. You discovered it. It's a regular 58 caliber 3-ring bullet, but one would have to say it's a Confederate 3-ring bullet because it come off a Confederate barge. Might have mentioned this before, but when I hunt in a place that's been heavily hunted, I like to hunt in a ravine or someplace low where over time it's filled in and the objects will be deeper, where a machine like the Mine Lab can find them easier than another machine can. Be another, probably a Colt pistol bullet. Looks a little different for some reason. Isn't this an amazing place though, if you want to come and dig bullets? No snake under there. When we got permission from the property owner, that was the only warning he gave us, was to watch out for copperheads, that they were known to be in here in abundance. Look! It came out. Maybe I'll get lucky. The first handful, second handful, third handful. Yay. Third's a charm, yeah. And I didn't even have the horseshoe. Another one of them little fat pistol, probably a pistol bullet, but you know, that's approaching 54 caliber. Oh, you like to dream, but we may have stumbled across something unique. I like to find something different. I don't recognize that one. One time I was at a paid relic hunt in Virginia, and we were having a pretty good time finding a few federal relics, and of course you're all in competition with each other, see who can do the best. And I was hunting along and I found a turkey feather laying on the ground, so I picked it up. I've been told I got some Indian blood in me, so I like feathers, so I put it behind my hat, up my hat, and the guy saw me do it and he says, "What are you doing that for?" And I says, "It's good luck. You find a feather on the ground, put it in your hat, you'll start finding relics immediately." Well, fortunately I walked up the hill a little ways and found 2 buttons. He was looking around for a feather then, and he must have told somebody else, and he told somebody else. By the end of the day, about half the guys had feathers in their hats. I don't think it really works, but it was fun. Steady, even sound, no breaks. I like to liken it, the way I have this machine set up, to a mourning dove. That's a good target. It's either small or deep. Well, that one's mangled. It appears it's just a Colt pistol bullet or some kind of pistol bullet, 58. That's the one that's, I think, a little bit different. Just looks a little bit bigger, even though that one's mangled. And sometimes just a little bit of difference makes a difference.
After just a couple of hours on the ground, the site looks good for our team to come back at another time with more metal detectors and to widen our search area. That's all for now. Thank you for joining us for this episode of the Civil War Uncovered.